looks like I'm back from Twitch. I don't know what happened there, but sorry. But yeah, to return to the topic I was talking about, you build on social psychology, which again is perfectly understandable, right? A more robust foundation for the study of psychology. And this moves to ethical calculus, which in this case is moving beyond maybe the abstract reasoning of philosophy, and again, reducing it down to specific functions and theorems to determine what the right action is. Kind of this great aspiration of philosophy, at least in its origins. But it really, what interests me is it takes these very simple foundations, and again, it takes that ideology, and you just keep pushing out a little bit further, and you keep moving, things like cyber ethics or superstring theory. All of these little quotes and all of these ideas going behind them are so interesting. That again, this can be just a big spreadsheet simulator. You can say, okay, well, I've got 4, 1, 2, and I'm going to go and attack this thing, and hopefully I win. Take that, hippies. Let's upgrade the synth metal garrison. But to make it, to really ground it into
resource shortfall.
Ah, damn it. Jesus Christ. Just lost a really good unit there. Can I get a truce with Deidre? All right. Let's see if I can get Santiago to... $1,000 energy credits. Jesus Christ. It's not happening. Deidre declared war on me because she was significantly stronger than I was. Now let me just catch up with what chat was saying. So I don't even know if Jessiquel's still here. I took so long to reply. I love how Centauri has a lot of character on its own that you found lacking in the other Civ games. It has a deep lore for every faction, and you find it in a way it has a plot that you don't find naturally in the other games. I definitely agree. And you think as a subset of philosophy that you absolutely love is epistemology. I actually have a friend who's quite a bit like you, Yip, both in his love of epistemology and sort of his approach to these topics.
Production complete.
Well, the good news is I don't need to worry about those drone riots anymore. I think I'll just hit the governor for that. Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Production complete.
Well, at least you got some artillery, but... Nobody, the Gaians are my second favorite. I've usually liked playing the University the most, but I'm really rusty. I think I'm playing on a higher difficulty than I used to. And I'm definitely feeling the kind of the rustiness of my play. But that's fine. I mean, this is a fun game.
Combat report.
Alright. So I've made some pretty strong enemies. Okay, well... maybe... how do I get through this? I mean, I kind of have to build up a military on this. Do I... yeah, you know what? I'll keep building all these units, but especially because I don't have any like sea-based
Life is
units.
merely an orderly decay of energy states, and survival requires the continual discovery of new energy.
Absolutely true, Biohazard. That was one of the things that really attracted me to this game, was its how it I think at this point I'm just gonna go for whatever. This is a great
Production complete.
I might want to just change my headquarters to here, to be honest. I absolutely love the way that they decided to break up humanity, and again, it's just such an interesting take on how to build a science fiction oriented game. Let's go for another impact rover.
Production complete.
I mean, I obviously have my priorities in terms of what I think the right way to organize the world is, but I'm not gonna, you know, there's so many very sympathetic and very interesting characters that it's hard not to, you know, it's hard not to look at this game and just sort of see, it's like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna do. So like an interesting thing here is that personally I fundamentally disagree with everything about the Hive, and yet I've done a playthrough of the Hive and I found it very interesting, and I found how the mechanics behind it were you know, were kind of, I don't know, it was very it's very interesting to see how well aligned it was with like the playstyle kind of complements sort of what that faction seems to be about. Let's just take a look, not the dominance graph. Can't remember who's who. Okay, so I'm ahead in tech. Santiago still has the best military and population. I mean, if only I could find a way of responding to Deidre, like, so if I was able to somehow deal with Deidre and start getting some territory from the Hive, the problem is as soon as I start building some foils to invade, I know the Gaians are just going to come back and hit me hard. I haven't built a network node yet because I'm a see, I played this university so many times that I didn't actually know about that quote until much later.
Important? Yes. Critical? Absolutely. I would go so far as to say that superconducting fiber alone makes our present economy possible. CEO Mwabudu K. Morgan, Morgan Link 3D Vision live interview.
The power requirements of optical computers and nascent industrial base stimulate research into high-temperature superconductors. An advance long considered the holy grail by physical chemists. A superconductor is a material that does not resist the flow of electrons. Using a superconductor, power can be transmitted at incredible speeds over vast distances without degradation. Bulky and expensive cooling equipment for high-powered machinery or weaponry become unnecessary because these materials remain cool and efficient as electricity passes through them. So, the Gatling laser is going to give me a decided edge moving forward. The question is, do I really want to... Actually, you know what? This would be a really good time to...
Insufficient energy.
Ah, this is the trick. I don't have the money for it. So I think in this case we'll try and fight the Gaians to a standstill. And try and turn them into an ally as quickly as we can.
Project
The chief aim of their
initiated.
constitution and government is that whenever public needs...
Yeah, so the Citizens Defense Force is pretty necessary given the fact that this is a pretty bloody playthrough. And, I am going to be building more colonies, so I think the planetary transit system is worth it too. I actually think the Citizens Defense Force is a little more important.
Project initiated. Production complete.
Yeah, no problem, Mr. Kason. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm never quite sure if just babbling on about that kind of stuff is interesting to anybody, but I think it helps to... I mean, again, I really think it serves to explain why I like games like this and why I think they... kind of why I stream the way that I do. Yeah, so this... Okay, this is the trick. I need
Perhaps a
to...
careful review of an option is in order.
I need to basically be in a constant state of attack. And I'll be able to...
Drone riots. Enemy project initiated. Production complete.
Basically, being on the attack will allow me to... Oh, I didn't know that was artillery. That sucks. Being on the attack is what allows me to get past the fact that everybody's armor is quite weak.
Improvement destroyed. Production complete. Perhaps a careful review of an option is in order. Production complete.
Looks like the Gaians are actually going to win that before us. Yep. As the writhing, teeming mass of mindworms soared over the outer perimeter, we saw the defenders recoil in horror. "Stay calm! Use your flame guns!" shouted the commander, but to no avail. It is well known that the mindworm boil uses psychic terror to paralyze its prey, and then carefully implants ravenous larvae in the brains of its still conscious victims. Even with the best weapons, only the most disciplined troops can resist the horrific attack. Lady Deidre Sky, our secret war. Alright, so we need to... definitely not planetary data links.
Project initiated.
So I think we just
Production complete.
rebuild. Unfortunately, it looks like Santiago is going to be the one to take out the Gaians. So maybe I make my move on Young and we try and assert ourselves that way. What's to say I wouldn't have wound up better?
Production complete.
And again, it's worth mentioning. I mean, Sid Meier deserves a lot
Production
of
complete.
a lot of credit and a lot of gratitude for his work on the Civilization series. But it is worth mentioning that this particular title is also by Brian. I think his name is Brian
Man has
Reynolds.
killed men from the beginning of time, and each new frontier has brought new ways and new places to die. Why should the future be different? Colonel Corazon Santiago, Planet, a survivalist guide.
Brian Reynolds, great. Thank you, Biohazard. Yeah, and I mean, I never actually got to play Rise of Nations. That was kind of the one that he did on his own. And I'd be really interested to seeing it. Because, I mean, again, it's not. I definitely do not want to take credit away from Sid Meier. He's an incredibly talented designer. But of course, this is one of the catches when you have a person who you want to build a brand around, which is that there are a lot of people who do a lot of very good work on the Civilization games, extremely talented designers in their own right, and sometimes they don't always get the recognition that some others might. So a good example here is there's a great game called Off-World Trading Colony, and it's by the designer on Civilization 4, and again, just an outstanding game, as is the other Civilization ones. So. Sorry, guys. I haven't put quality time in Civilization Beyond Earth yet, but I know it's not big. The one thing, actually, I didn't talk about the difference between tile-based and hex-based games. I can maybe try that, because it's actually something I've been working on myself recently. But military requirements have historically pushed technology forward, and no better example can be found than the sophisticated software development. From the first computers designed to calculate artillery shell trajectories to advanced military algorithms developed from adaptive doctrine to optical computers, mankind has worked to extend warfare into the digital world. It's actually worth mentioning here, I think it was Leonard Euler who actually worked on calculations for artillery. I may be wrong. I'm pretty sure it was Euler. But it's actually interesting to see some of the great mathematicians who actually worked on these specific problems. Okay, so I think I still have... Same here. I do not want to switch to power. I do so too. I mean, I'm very hopeful for Civilization 6. I think even in the case of something like Beyond Earth, which I know wasn't a hit with the fans, I think the one thing that makes Civilization so good... Oh, so you're just emailing me, letting me know you want to kill me. Fair enough. This is a green unit. You know what? Throw him in anyway.
Perhaps a careful review was an option.
This was a mistake! Alright, I probably should have used my artillery first. Yeah, that was not smart on my part at all. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh, crap. We need somebody else to go on side.
Production complete.
But yeah, so one of the things that I think has made the Civilization series so resilient is their willingness to experiment and kind of push forward with new ideas. They really haven't been content to rest on their laurels. So again, that sometimes means that it's not exactly what everybody would want, but I definitely feel like I definitely feel like I don't know, they hit far more than they miss in my opinion. So Yip says even as standalone it feels a bit lackluster in terms of progression. And sad thing about the main Civ series is that they're generally lackluster before the expansions. Yeah, no, actually I think that's fair. I mean, again, I don't know, I really love the Civilization series. So for me, Jesus Christ,
Request confirmation.
so like every single time a Civ game comes out, it's always an all-nighter for me.
Turn complete.
And I don't think that's ever going to change, if I'm completely honest. So I mean, even if they've been uneven, like between the introduction and the like the finished product, I still think, okay, you know what? Let's see if we can get her to. Nope, she's still pissed off. All right, I need to get myself a navy soon.